The lights are so bright, but all I see is the darkness of that trench in Kandahar. I am standing here on this stage wearing this uniform that once stood for pride but now feels like a shroud of lead. My hands are shaking, not from the cold of a desert night, but from the weight of a wedding ring that hangs on a chain around my neck instead of on her finger. I can hear the audience whispering. I can see the judges leaning in, wondering why a man with medals on his chest has tears carving paths through the dust on his face. They want to know my story. They want to know why I'm here. But the truth is, I'm not here for the fame or the prize. I'm here because I made a promise to a woman who isn't here to hear it. Before I sing the song, my father taught me, if you also believe legends never truly die and want their legacy to live on, please subscribe to this channel right now. Do it for him. You would help me so much. Her name was Elena. We met in a small white church in Tennessee, the kind of place where the floorboards creak under the weight of old hymns and sincere prayers. She was the girl with the voice like a velvet ribbon, the one who sang Amazing Grace and made you believe the heavens were opening right there above the pulpit. I was just a boy with a guitar and a dream of serving my country. When I got my deployment orders, she didn't cry in front of me. She just pressed a small leather-bound diary into my hands and told me, "Write to me every day, Elias. I'll be waiting on the porch until the dust from your Jeep settles back into the driveway." I spent 3 long years in hell. I lived for her letters. In the middle of the desert, where the heat blurs the horizon and the smell of cordite stays in your clothes for weeks, those envelopes were my only oxygen. They smelled like lavender and home-cooked meals. Even when the world was exploding around me, when the hum of drones replaced the sound of cicadas, I could close my eyes and hear her voice. I survived ambushes and lost brothers in arms, always telling myself that if I could just hold on, if I could just survive one more patrol, I would find her waiting in that rocking chair. But during my final tour, the letters stopped. For 6 months, there was a silence more terrifying than any mortar fire. I told myself the mail was just slow, or the war was getting in the way. I didn't know that while I was fighting a war abroad, she was fighting a silent war in her own body. Cancer is a ghost that haunts you from the inside, and she didn't want to tell me. She didn't want me to lose focus. She wanted me to come home alive, even if she couldn't be there to see it. I remember one specific night in the valley. We were pinned down, and the sky was lit up with tracers. I reached into my vest to touch her last letter, the one where she told me she had planted sunflowers by the gate. That paper was soaked in my sweat and crumpled from being read 1,000 times. I promised God right then that if I made it back, I would never let her go again. I didn't realize that God had a different plan, one that involved a hospital bed and a quiet room while I was miles away in the dirt. When I finally stepped off that bus in our small town, the air felt different. The birds weren't singing the way they used to. I walked down our dirt road, my boots clicking against the gravel, my heart hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird. But when I reached the house, the porch was empty. The rocking chair was still, covered in a thin layer of winter frost. The house smelled like dust and frozen memories. I found her last letter on the kitchen table, dated 2 days before she passed. It said, "I waited as long as I could, my love. Don't be angry at the silence. I'll be listening from the front row of a different stage now." I fell to my knees in that empty kitchen, surrounded by the ghosts of our future, and wept until I had no breath left. I had survived the fire of war, only to be frozen by the ice of grief. She was my Elvis, my Michael Jackson, my Whitney. She was the star that guided me through the darkest nights of my life. She always told me that my voice wasn't just for me, it was for the brokenhearted. She used to say, "Elias, when you sing, people don't just hear music, they hear hope." I didn't believe her then. I was too busy being a soldier. But standing here now, with the weight of this uniform and the silence of her absence, I finally understand what she meant. Every step I took onto this stage felt like walking through a minefield of emotions. I see the judges and I see the cameras, but mostly I see the empty seat next to my mother in the audience where Elena should be sitting, wearing that yellow dress she loved so much. I brought my guitar, the one she helped me tune before I left, the one that still has a scratch on the side from the time we took it to the lake.
De vida y sobre todo de actitud.
Pues cuando quieras. The dust settles down on the boots that I wore. I'm standing right here at a different kind of door. The desert was hot, but my heart is so cold, since the story of us is the one left untold. I heard your voice in the wind across the sea, asking the Lord to bring me back to be the man that you loved and the man that you knew. But I came home to shadows and a heaven of blue. Oh, the waiting is over, but the longing remains, like the ghost of a garden washed out by the rains. You were my anchor when the world went to war. Now I'm drifting away from the peace on the shore. I remember the light in your eyes like a flame, when you'd whisper my prayer and you'd call out my name. Lord, give me the strength just to stand on this floor, to sing for the woman who waits by the door. It's a long road to glory and a short walk to pain. I'm looking for sunshine in the middle of rain. I know you are listening from a place far away, where the night never comes and it's always the day. I'll carry your cross and I'll carry your song in a world full of right that feels so very wrong. The uniform's heavy and the medals are dim compared to the grace and the mercy of Him. I'm just a soldier with a broken down soul, trying to find a way back to being whole. Oh, the waiting is over, but the longing remains, like the ghost of a garden washed out by the rains. I know you are listening from a place far away, where the night never comes and there's always a day. Every note that I hit is a tear that I shed for the words left unsaid and the life that we led. I'll see you again when the bugle calls clear, and there's no more of death, and there's no more of fear. Until then I will sing till my voice breaks apart, with the pieces of love that live deep in my heart. Oh, the waiting is over, but the longing remains, like the ghost of a garden washed out by the rains. You were my anchor when the world went to war. Now I'm drifting away from the peace on the shore. Yes, I'm drifting away to that peace on the shore. I am coming home to you forevermore. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Si te gustó esta canción, por favor suscríbete al canal, me ayudarías muchísimo. Y en la descripción te dejo algunos productos para la salud que podrían ayudarte y apoyarían mucho al canal.